Hello, YouTube. It's your boy, the Crazy Trader, and I'm here again with your favorite stock review. Like I always say, it's get money, don't make no money, and you always gotta risk it to get the biscuit. What do I have today? I have Neo. I've always spoken about this stock over and over again. I have videos and videos. You could go through my Neo stock. Neo is one of my favorite stock. It's actually one of my all-time stocks. When it comes to stock trading, one of the stocks that made me I don't want to say start because when I started, I had Ford. Ford was the stock that made me got into trading because at that time it was paying dividends. But one of the stocks that made me the most money back then was Neo, because I remember having a lot of Neo, buying them and having an average cost of $6 when I bought Neo, and then it went all the way to about 54, and I started selling, sold 54, sold at 45. So Neo made me some of the best money, and that is what got me into stock trading, because I was like, oh damn, I can make this much money in this short period of time. I can 100 percent my money in a year, instead of putting it in some fund that is going to give me 8% or 12% a year. This is what opened my eyes to how the stock market really works. So it's been an all-time love. Okay, so I've done a video explaining where I bought Neo, how I sold it, and why I'm still in Neo. Right now, my average cost is for $5. I have 510 shares. I just wanted 500 shares, but I bought 10 extra shares just for the love of it. I'm up 25%, which is pretty good, considering the share. It's just $646. But I feel like Neo is bubbling up. It's getting ready to pop. When that stock is kind of getting ready to pop, I think Neo is getting ready to pop, because the last quarter they made their first profit, and I'm hoping that they take it into the next quarter. I think they have their earnings somewhere. I think it's May 21st. So I'm hoping that the second quarter would also generate some profit. Okay, net profit, no matter how little it is, because the last time they generated profit, people attributed that to their reduction in research and development. So they reduced the amount that they put towards research and development. So people were like, okay, that's what reduced the cost. But I want to believe that this time they can maintain that momentum, because they've beat almost every month in their car deliveries. They've beat almost every month compared to the year past. So I kind of like it. I feel like it's getting ready to pop. I feel like the next um, earnings, which is on the 21st of May, will be very good. So hopefully Neo really takes off. Okay, it's a great, unless you don't know what Neo does, but it's an electric vehicle company. It's one of the companies that can easily transition into robotics, because they have a great research and development team. They are doing some of the best electric cars around, and they are one of the only major electric car companies that has the BAS service, which is the battery as a service. So this is what the battery as a service does. Okay, instead of sitting in a parking lot and then charging your car for 30 or 40 minutes, like a Tesla or like any other major car manufacturer, the battery as a service, you just drive it into a little garage. There's robots just go under your car, and then they switch out the dead battery with a new battery, and then they charge the dead battery, and it takes, I think, 2 minutes, 2 to 5 minutes. That's the timing on it when that is done. So within 2 to 5 minutes, just like you buying gas, that service is done, and it's something that I think you have to apply and pay monthly for. So it's income for them, whilst they give you this new batteries in 2 to 5 minutes. And I think last month, right? I'll read the news for last month that you were able to switch 1 million batteries in a month. So, and they've switched about 100 million batteries since they started. So that's a lot of data to chew on, especially with this company trading at $6.27. So it's Neo is one of the great EV companies that people are overlooking, but it's actually creeping slowly in the Chinese market and in the European markets. So I think it's going to do pretty good. China has some great companies like the BYDs, the Li Auto, and all these huge electric car companies. Even Huawei has a car company in China. So Neo is one of the few companies that is actually marking them shoulder to shoulder. So I really like the company. I've showed you all this. Let me take you down. The PE ratio minus 6.72, pretty good. 52-week high is $8. I think it can beat that nice and easy. The market cap is 14.6 billion, which is pretty good for a car company. So most of the statistics on Neo are pretty really really good. You can go into if you're on Robinhood, you can go into this, and Neo swapped 1 million EV batteries in a week, while Tesla owners waited 30 minutes to charge. Is Neo stock a buy? So the battery, the BAS, which is the battery as a service platform, is very popular, especially when you go to China. And I think when it's implemented everywhere in the world, it would be nice if Tesla had something like that. It would be so quick. You just get in there, and people will pay a premium for that, because there are people who pay to drive in the fast lane. So you would think, or you would know, that people will pay a premium not to sit at the charging station for 30 minutes or for 40 minutes just to charge a battery. Okay, so Neo is doing that, very innovative. I think it's one of the few things that makes them stand out, apart from the car designs, apart from them having a premium brand, which is the Neo, and two generic brands, which is the, I think, I forgot the name, the Firefly, and then there's one more, which are their generic brands. Okay. Um, this is an article that I picked from Nasdaq. How buying Neo stock today could 10x your net worth. So I think Neo. I personally believe in this too. But just are all just analyst points. But I personally think Neo has done it before. I bought Neo, like I said, for an average of $6. It went all the way to 54. So I know Neo can easily 10x your portfolio. But let me read the bullet points before I let you go. Right, Neo's actual business is now significantly larger than it was during the 2021 EV mania. That is when it went up to the $54. That's 2021, 2020, 2021. That's where I make some of the big money when it comes to Neo. To realistically become a 10 bagger, Neo likely needs to scale annual vehicle deliveries into the multi-million range. It will get there. It's a great company. People have positive um, um, reviews about it. If the company can eventually build millions of BAS subscribers, which is millions of battery as a service subscriber, recurring revenue alone could become a multi-billion-dollar business. So this recurring revenue is going to come as a subscription for the BAS service, right? So if every month you're paying $100 just to be able to change your battery, a limited amount of times, or even 2-3 times a month, that $100 is going to multiplied by the amount of subscribers they have, is going to be recurring, revenue for them year in and year out. I don't want to read the whole article because it's going to waste your time. Um, I can read the first part of it. Say that new shares of the automaker Neo have been volatile and could be an understatement. Since going public in 2018, shares rose as much as 850% as recently as 2021, only to give back all of those gains. As of this writing, shares are down 11% since Neo's IPO. Right, so it went all the way up 850%, and it was pretty good for those of us who held into Neo. I've done a video and I've showed you when I bought it and when I sold it. It was great. It was great at that time, and I hope it gets better. So Neo, great stock. I want you to keep an eye on Neo. For those who already have Neo, you can hold. It's a good stock. I think you should hold on to it anyway. Don't take my word for it. Like I say, I'm not a financial advisor. This is just for entertainment and informational purposes only. Remember to subscribe and like just to support the video. I'm out of your hair. Stay blessed and peace.